both the World Championship and the US Open, ended up winning them, but managed to come through undefeated this time, and he's got us off and running here.
Problem, the second one's the first test. In the Moscone last year? Yeah. You know, on the solo department, but so he's been talked about quite a bit still, of course, making Team Asia. This ball here a little.
One thing we do talk about in terms of Aranas, Jeremy, is how nervous.
Yeah, well, you know, he's dealt with it his entire career like we all do, and you know, as long as he's prepared, he usually, that's the real issue, and he's so good fundamentally and decisions, and I think he keeps his head as well as anyone. A nice thin cut on the 5, and a pretty good clearance to open this match.
Gorst missed the 3.
Wow, it seemed like a pretty good connection on the 1 ball.
So won his first match, then won 9 of the next 10 to ease through.
He's going to wonder about this bounce right here. Yeah, you can see just a hint of an angle to get to the rail, so he's going to have to accept a 5-6 inches, take a little more cut. Yeah, it's always the overcut is always the miss there, it seems like. And I thought he was going to try and draw it.
Go to the loser side and beat Do Van Kai 9-4.
Watch out, 9 ball. Watch out, 9 ball.
Oh, what a way.
Now, Michael, I know, you don't play a ton of pool. Of course, you played some Q Sports before. What's going on in Fedor's mind. But a little alarming here to start.
Be different when you become the one they're all hunting.
Yeah, absolutely. And
attention on him, and he ended up winning that tournament.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what player. Oh, look at this shot. This is very interesting. He was trying to contact the 4, the 5, or the 6. Excuse me.
Just shows what an exact was, and we're analysing it, but that's just the nature of the game.
Well, I'd say there's certain personalities that kind of agree with that number 1 thing for him, with the mentality and some.
It's a fairly routine 9.
Break the balls and get a look here. Smashing them there. Maybe a little upset about those early.
When you're dealing with the player as accomplished as Gorst.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's little tidbits, and it's, you got to treat every one of them a bit more. So I think he's good. I think he's really good in that department. I think he, in my eyes anyways, and maybe just knowing him, being around him, that a bit funny. Played it with a little check. You can rely on, and kind of easier to leave mistakes behind. Oh, this could get just like that. I thought he might just kind of dink it in and take the 7. I'll tell you, if the decisions
of signs, and looked as though he was going to be pegged back to level. Now he has a chance to restore that 2-rack advantage, and should do so from this position.
See. Okay. Not as much angle.
So once again,
really. It's much more of what we're used to seeing from Aranas. Usually, no matter the format, breaks the bowl. I'm going to be a little out of line here and there, and you got to not let it bother you as best as possible. And just
so in a race to 10th.
One of his better shots, the top English, trying to come 2 rails with some speed. Yeah, just gets a lot out of the cue ball. Of course, he was close to it there, so that made the decision a bit on the next shot. Oh, he even. Just watch him. He'll let you know. Light one. Oh, that end rail jumped a little bit.
And this is going to finish routine path to being only one behind again. So it was one testing.
He's going to win one of these big ones. All right, I was just going to say, you know, with a few struggles near that right middle.
A string of established champions after that. Albin Ocean 10-1 in the quarterfinals. A strong finish to see off Jason Shaw in the semis, and then incredible run at the World Championship where he seemed to be on the brink of going out in almost every match. Things around to win the US Open for the first time. 12 months on from having. We're very much in this new era now of pulling the record along with Francisco Sanchez Ruiz and Jason Shaw. Sanchez Ruiz has since edged back in front with his win.
Got a little into that. It's going to get.
So in the previous rack, Fedor Gorst.
All right, another thunderous cut break and another great, really natural to the red 3. Ooh, caught that a little.
He has won a tournament in Hanoi.
Those matches really the first time I got to put my eyes on him, and when he got going, he was just.
Sure.
Yeah, and James, of course, had that 8-ball to go up 4-1.
Missed a few early.
Setting goals, and after winning that world title and then the U.S. Open as well, he said it again, that ball on the lower left.
Feet away from us ahead of his match against Mickey Kraus on the main table, which will be coming up.
This is what's happening here for a big missed 8 there in rack number. Fedor Gorst, and you break the balls and make
Consistent quality play, as we've been doing with Fedor Gorst for the last 6 months or so.
No, but he can have a run that's pretty serious when you're, you know, so consistent with the break, you know, and he's after the break, you know, and make some added things. But I think when FSR was. I'll tell you, it's hard to tell, but you got to like the line of the cue you see now. Man, he hit it a lot harder than I thought he would. Got on the 5. The position on the 4, very difficult. He's going to leave a gap here.
And as the big young American hope over the last year or two. With what Hollingsworth has done recently, is he perhaps... He's just lit up at the fact that he'd been out there and won a few racks against him.
All right, what a special position. Lighter side here. Oh, he's missed this ball. Get contact on the purple. Oh, he's missed it in return. He tried to go between the 6-9, which I thought years ago. All right, trying to avoid the 6 as he. Oh, he's drawing it. Really good stroke.
You and I walked in here together.
I thought I walked fast, Michael. I could barely keep up with you. Touchy ones have been really on point. Oh, he caught it a little thin. Going to come at the 8, hoping to avoid.
To start this visit is worthy of setting up a rack winning chance. But where's this finish?
Dry break or whatever. You know, you got to take advantage, of course, to have any chance in these events, but you really need to punish players once they make it.
Well, Aranas.
Really nice break off. A little unfortunate, the kiss. He's going to get. Really nice. Shouldn't be a problem. I caught it a little thick. Is it going to move? It's a 7. I don't. Oh, he beat the scratch as well. Really nice. That wasn't too close considering.
Get the greatest sleep last night.
Well, I saw him in the restaurant at dinner.
So Aranas got let off the hook in the previous rack. Maybe the same here again. Bad miss on the 5 into the.
But it's almost, you know, developing like I was talking about position, the way the tables are playing at the moment. So you just got to understand you're going to have to make a bit more of a shot. You know, probably almost every rack.
Going. And that's going to be 5-all.
Cue ball. Couple little kids. Now, when you start to get limited pockets, you know, with like the 5, it could really linger into that 7, 8, 9.
Here, so many close finishes. He also went to the one-loss side early on in Atlantic City back in August, but once he got to single elimination.
Going to draw back, so speed control pretty crucial. Ooh, I was going to say. And I also thought of course, he overcut the ball a little bit, but I thought there was a.
Now all of a sudden, not like runs in a row, Aranas has a chance to lead for the first time since 3-2.
Yeah, not even close. You know, and man, this is going to open up between the 7, 8.
What is happening?
I think he's saying he's sick or something.
Fedor Gorst appears. Well, what an incredible story we have got here early on this Friday in the Vietnamese capital. Fedor Gorst explaining to James Aranas, let's be clear, it's not an act of petulance. That wouldn't be Fedor.